Okay, so I'm going to talk about intuitive eating today, and is it healthy? Because this comes up a lot where people want to get confused and get intuitive eating twisted, and it's really not something that is that complicated. So I'm going to talk about intuitive eating. Is it healthy? With the Recovery Academy, and I'm a licensed professional counselor and an eating disorder specialist. And here on this channel, every week I bring you no bullshit, quick tips, tricks, and tools to help you along your recovery journey. Today, I'm talking about, is intuitive eating healthy eating? Okay. So I wish intuitive eating was as simple as doing A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and I wish it was black and white, and I honestly wish it was as simple as just doing the 10 principles that are in the book and the workbook, but it's not. Intuitive eating is a very nuanced thing, but we want to complicate it because we're so used to living in diet culture, or you have that eating disorder brain that's very rigid and black and white and perfectionistic, and so we've all been taught all of these food rules, and we've been taught all of these rules about moving our body, and we've been taught all of these things about health and what's healthy, and so it's really confusing, and it feels really hard for people, I think, to start the intuitive eating process because they're still trying to follow these rules. So quite simply, intuitive eating is just eliminating all food rules and all body rules, and it's just saying all food is okay. There are no rules. I can eat what I want, when I want, how I want, when I want. And then everybody gets freaked out about that, right? It's not just letting yourself go. There is a place for food preferences in intuitive eating, and there is a place for healthy eating in intuitive eating. In fact, intuitive eating is just plain simply healthy eating. Intuitive eating is your intuition, right? It's saying that we each as individuals have our body and our brain and our psyche is able to guide us. It's able to tell us what we need and what we want and how to take care of ourselves. But again, because of diet culture or mental health conditions or an eating disorder, all of that kind of gets disconnected, and we start focusing on following rules instead of honoring what feels good for our mental, emotional, relational, social, financial, physical health. Just because you are practicing intuitive eating, it doesn't mean that you eat whatever the fuck, whenever the fuck, because you're eating all of the time. No, intuitive eating, you're allowed to not eat something if you don't like it. You're allowed to eat something because you like it, even though maybe you just ate. Again, there aren't any rules. You're allowed to have food preferences in intuitive eating. You're allowed to make food choices that make your body feel good. My body will want something crisp, something crunchy, something light, and that's my body saying, hey, we want some vegetables, right? And so I will go out to eat maybe, or I'll go home and I'll choose to cook veggies instead of maybe cooking French fries. Could I eat the French fries? 175%, and there would be no guilt or shame or anxiety about eating the French fries. But just because I can eat them, I am allowed to also choose to eat the vegetables. But it's all about the intention, though. If my intention is I can't eat French fries because I don't want to gain weight, or I'm worried what it'll do to my body, or it's a bad food, or it's an unhealthy food, that's not intuitive eating. That is dieting, and that is eating disorder behavior. If your intention is, I want vegetables because that's just what will feel good to me, that's what I'm craving, that's what I'm wanting to eat, and that's fine, then you're allowed to eat those vegetables. So I want to encourage you to check your intention. And that's really hard depending where you're at in your eating disorder journey. You may be in the beginning and still learning all about your eating disorder thoughts and your eating disorder rules. And so know that at a point in intuitive eating, when you're practicing it and you're starting to add more foods in, you're learning about what foods taste good, what foods feel good, what foods feel good emotionally, what foods feel good mentally. So when you're about your day, you're able to say, you know what? That sounds good. I'm going to eat that. Bottom line with intuitive eating, it's about removing any guilt or shame or anxiety around food. It's eliminating all your food rules and tapping into what your body needs to have energy, to have the ability to move and love and react and respond to your day, the energy it needs to be healthy. And you're giving your body food that it enjoys and it feels good. And there aren't any rules about what and how and when it's appropriate to eat those things. So you want to start practicing intuitive eating? Well, here's a couple of tips. The first thing is that this is not my idea, and it's certainly not a novel idea. This is the gold standard for eating disorder treatment. It's something that specialists are taught to teach people. But it is a workbook and a book written by Evelyn Tribal and Elise Retsch, I think R-E-S-C-H. I'll have it below. But it is a book where it has 10 principles and there's a workbook for you. So get those things and start reading them. Start working on that workbook. Find a dietitian who is an eating disorder specialist or somebody who knows about intuitive eating. They're going to be very helpful for you along your intuitive eating journey. And then I think it's about today and the next few days, observing your rules around food. So if you're getting ready for a meal or you are sitting down to eat something, I want you to notice what rules you have. What shoulds are there? What musts? What's oughts? What are you trying to categorize it in a certain way? Are there any judgments? What are your thoughts associated with that food? Then write it down. And then you want to work on challenging one rule at a time. How can you find facts, or how can you learn how to eat that one food, or how can you learn to challenge that one rule? That's how you can begin the process of intuitive eating. Get the book, get a dietitian, and then start noticing your rules and find ways to challenge them. And then you will be eating healthy and eating intuitively at the same time. Well, y'all, that is how you can be healthy and eat intuitively at the same time while you're recovering from an eating disorder. If you are practicing intuitive eating, or you want more information on where to get the workbook, or where to find a dietitian, or how to start, feel free to comment, ask any question. I promise you do not bother me if you reach out to me here or by email or any of my social media. Check out all the links I have for you below. Lots of free, fabulous recovery resources for you. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, and then don't forget to subscribe. New videos come every single week, and you never want to miss a video to help you kick ass in your recovery journey. That's all for today. I'll see you guys real soon.